Greetings and salutations. It is I, Johnny, and this is the Who the Heaven Is I podcast. Oh, it's a special day today. Oh, yes. Now, some of you may be celebrating Thanksgiving, but today I'm celebrating, dun dun dun, Thanksliving. Why? Well, because I'm thankful I'm still alive after everything I've been through the past couple of years, especially this past month. And I'm very thankful for the people around me. Sometimes when you go through stuff, you find out who your true friends are, and sometimes you make new friends. So I'm thankful for that. What else am I thankful for? I'm thankful for a lot. Well, first off, I'm thankful that I actually have a working device that I can record my episodes on. That's one thing that over the past year and a half, I've literally gone in and out of like 8 or 9 phones. And it's because of the fact that I don't want to go out there and buy the new 16 Pro or 15 Pro or whatever. I really wanted to fix my 11 Pro, but that's a whole other story because it's gotten more damage to it. And I don't feel like we should keep on having to buy new devices. So thankfully I got new devices that work right now. Shout out to Deanna. I'm thankful that I'm healthy for the most part. I mean, granted, no soy perfecto, pero estoy muy saludable. I'm not exactly perfect, but I'm pretty healthy. I do need to get back into my fitness regime. So if anyone wants to be my fitness buddy, I enjoy cycling. I enjoy swimming. I enjoy group exercises, whether it could be like a sport type thing. Like I'm not one that generally likes to just go to the gym and do lifting and stuff. I like volleyball, kickball, tennis, dancing. A dance partner. Hey, if you're out there and you like dance, maybe we could do a Roomba together. Anyway, so what else am I thankful for? I am thankful for, whoever's listening to this, I'm definitely thankful because then it's like the efforts that I'm putting into doing this will have some sort of benefit to someone out there. Whether it's something that I give you to talk crap about or something that you find beneficial, nonetheless, I'm thankful that you're listening to this. But hopefully, or should I say willfully, you will find value in what I put out into the universe because I feel with my point of view, it's different than yours, and I can give you a different take on things that go on in life. For example, I'm not going to get political, but I'm going to say, the election came and went, and in my mind, I didn't play into any of the narratives of this or that or anything. I just kind of stayed focused on being positive and doing my thing. And, the election results are what they are, right? So whether it's something you wanted or something you didn't want, we all got to deal with it now. And whether it's a positive for you or a negative for you, how you react to it, and this is the big overarching theme, how you react to anything coming is what it says about you. Because there's definitely people that were in my inner circle that were doing their best to trigger me and manipulate me and make me do things that would enable them to embrace bad habits that would make their life not better. And that's not who I am. I pride myself in being someone that likes to lift people up. I like to send out positive vibes to the universe. And I'm not afraid to go into the dark because, hey, we all go through dark times. And I know what it's like to be isolated, alone, and have your family kind of turn their back on you, have friends turn their back on you when you're processing something that they don't understand. And so they'll judge you instead of support you because ultimately, I call it lack of faith, lack of understanding, lack of, well, there's just lack of friendship. Like, not everyone's going to do what you want them to do. And some people, when you don't do what they want, they claws come out. And then in my situation lately, slander, tried to deface me, tried to take me down because I don't want to do what they want me to do. And okay, well, listen, I'm comfortable with who I am and I know what I do. And while no soy perfecto, I am not perfect, I do the best I can to be a good friend. And sometimes being a good friend is not giving you what you want when you want it, just like in parenting. And this is a whole other can of worms I'm not going to open up, but I'll just say, when you make a baby, it's not like you're just making a baby. You're creating a life form into this universe. And I'm laughing because I had an interview with a friend, Ricky, and he's like, "You don't like to F?" And I was like, "No, Johnny likes to make love." And to me, all children should be love childs. If you're making love and you bring a child into the universe, that's the first step, right? Like bringing it in with love as opposed to that angry smashing. Because then sometimes the angry smashing leads to a busted condom. Then it leads to two parents that aren't on the same page. And then what happens to that child? What happens to that life form? Then you have a battle for the next 2 decades at least of how to raise the kid. And then the kid's like, my parents don't love me. They made me and now they don't want to be together. And that's not the case usually. At least I know my experience. While I know my future ex-wife and I don't get on the same page on a lot of things, I have nothing but love for her as a human. And I realize the love has evolved from being intimate, romantic, and that kind of thing. But I don't wish ill feelings towards her. Can't say she says the same about me, but that's her choice, and she can do what she wants. And it's not about me and her, really. It's about the whole universe, because this is a Thanksliving. So back to the positive spin. So when life forms come into the universe, it's one of those things that's a beautiful miracle and gift, and that's why I always find, if I'm going to get intimate with someone, I want it to be with someone that, should the condom break, the vow I would take would be to raise the kid cohesively and lovingly, to give them the best experience of life and model behaviors that would, in fact, be reflective of who I am. And if we can't agree to disagree on certain things and still stay in the game, back to the whole election thing, then our country, our baby, can be chaotic. And so I choose peace, and peace starts within. If you followed me on the Facebook, quite often, especially in the 2020 pandemic era, I would wake up and sing, "Let There Be Peace on Earth." Now, why would Johnny do that? Well, first and foremost, it's one of those songs when I was a little kid, we'd be in church. I'd love when it came in, especially in St. Edward's back in the day when I was super young. There's just something holistic about that song where it's just like I'm proclaiming that I want to be chill, And when you sing it in unity with people, it's magical. One day I will be on stage, whether it be in MetLife Stadium or Hard Rock Stadium or, a Baird's Tavern backyard. I will play "Let There Be Peace on Earth" on the synthesizer. We'll all sing it, and it'll resonate. It'll make us feel like, why the heck were we fighting? Just because of this and that. Like, we all want the same thing. I'd like to think that we all want to be able to live authentically and be able to have free will. Now, this is where the challenge is when we have billions of life forms on this planet, is that sometimes people make different choices than us. And if you want to be able to make your own choices, you have to accept that other people are going to make their own choices. When I was younger, I wasn't as zen as I am now. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I would like to think I'm like 84% zen right now. Like I know there's still more for me to go. And my goal is 110%. Like I want to be like, actually, wow. Oh my gosh. I just remembered my dream from last night. I'm gonna tell you the dream just because it was crazy cool. I was in I don't even know where I was, but I was in my meditation and my legs were folded, and I the name of my business is The Wizard Cast, if you're just following me, and making magic is my business, and I use the wizard emoji a lot. And what I'll do is, when I'm saying, I got to protect my energy, or I got to be chill, I'll put out the meditative emoji of the wizard, right? So in my dream last night, I was, in fact, doing my meditating, I don't know if the legs were crossed or whatever, my arms were out, and I think I was in some sort of garden in Manhattan. I'm currently staying in an amazing Airbnb in Brooklyn. DM me and I'll tell you where it is, because it's very chill. It's authentic Brooklyn. Like, it looks like a crazy place outside. Like, it's got a gated front gate, you walk up the stairs, they're kind of like old and beat up, but that's like Brooklyn, yo. Anyway, I progressed. So I was in New York City somewhere, I think a park, and I was doing my meditation, and I was like Dua Lipa. I was levitating, which if Ollie Pops is listening to this, maybe I manifested that dream, because she was levitating the other day in one of her posts. I joked, I jested. I could be your court jester. Anyone out there looking for a court jester? That could be me. So I made a little comment on her post, and I was levitating. So maybe that was in my head. Now, coming back to Dua Lipa, I did take the quick scroll through Instagram this morning, and there was, she's always an interesting, eclectic individual, and posts a shit ton of images, but she had one that was in a tub, and she was radiant. And before I even looked at the posts, I was in the restroom thinking, man, I would love to find a nice tub to kind of chillax in. And I think in her photo, she was doing the cool plunge tub. I have a new friend that has a really cool tub down in her downstairs basement. So maybe she'll let me borrow her cool tub to do the same kind of pose that Dua Lipa had. Because as a Pisces that has all this water in my astrological chart, water and me are such a thing. And getting back to my dream, I was levitating Dua Lipa style, like it was just, the vibe was so high, and I wasn't even doing it on purpose. It was like, people like, holy shit, what are you doing? I was like, what do you mean? I looked down and like, oh man, I'm levitating. And I was just like, my legs were still folded. I'm just like floating around, kind of like the Jetsons cars. I was just like, zzz, zzz, zzz. And it was the funnest thing in the whole wide world. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this episode in a moment so I can go find a park close by and do some meditation. Maybe today's the day that I levitate. Force is strong with you, it is. Levitation you've achieved, says Joda. But before I go, I want to say it. And this is not conceited, but I think it's something that all of us should do in a healthy state, not in an egocentric state, but I'm thankful for myself. I've been through so much this past couple of years, and I'm thankful I'm still in the game, because straight up, like, it keeps on getting poured on. But the more I follow my heart, mind, and soul, like, I went up to meet up with a friend down in Cape May the other day, and I stayed in Atlantic City on the way back from the trip. And then, I don't want to say exactly what I did, because then what'll happen is then maybe I won't be able to do it next time. But I was able to get into a pool and a hot tub, and it was magical. Okay, Yeah, I'm just going to share because who's really listening to this stuff anyway? There was a place in Atlantic City. First off, the weather was gorgeous. It was like 50, 58 degrees, 60, whatever. And I was walking and exploring Atlantic City, which is a shell of what it used to be back in the 80s and 90s. But that's a whole other story. And I found a way into a pool and a hot tub. So I just flowed with it. I feel like I have that Pee Wee Herman / Paul Rubens magical gift where I just kind of blend in and able to get into places that maybe I wasn't supposed to be there, but maybe I was supposed to be there. And that's how I was able to just kind of walk in with the crowd laughing, like at the end of Pee-wee's Big Adventure when he walks into Warner Brothers Studios. Ha 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 ha! I love that joke. And so, yeah. So I had a great time aquatically the past couple of days. And I'd like to continue so. I actually, the hotel I was staying at, Bally's Park Place Casino Hotel, which, much like the Brooklyn Airbnb I'm staying in tonight, I got such a great value out of there. Now, the thing that I was very disappointed with them was that their pool apparently closes from Monday through Wednesday. And those were like, I couldn't go there on the Sunday because I was traveling and I was at my friend's event. But straight up, it was really upsetting that the gym and the pool wasn't open then because I still paid the resort fee. But then, really, I'm not able to go swimming? Then why am I paying a resort fee? Now, the manager, who was really cool, explained what the resort fee is really meant for nowadays. But and I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at and I'm not mad at all, to be honest with you. I'm disappointed with these companies, how they use the resort fees and don't give me resort atmosphere. Although, when I was playing by gifted credit from the Players Club, the woman that came down with the cocktails, because the place is so dead, especially at 5 o'clock in the morning, not only did I get cranberry juice, I got the ginger ale, and I got 2 waters, and I got another cup of ice, and she brought me 2 glasses of wine, because originally I was asking what kind of wine they had. Not that I was going to have it that early in the morning, but she really brought me like 6 things out there, was going to leave it all for me, because that's what Atlantic City's like now. They're so desperate for attention that they're going to overload you. And sometimes overloading people when you're desperate for attention does the exact opposite. It makes people be weary, why is this going on? And so, balance, Daniel-san, balance. Balance is the key. If you want to get a point across, sometimes, you gotta speak softly and carry a magic stick. Well, that's what the Wizard Cast says. Teddy Roosevelt says, speak softly and carry a big stick. Or was it FDR? No, I think it was Teddy Roosevelt. I don't remember. My brain's been like Swiss cheese lately with everything going on. But, getting back to Zen. Oh, so one other thing. When I was exploring Atlantic City, I found a cool spot to shoot a short film. You've heard of Star Wars, and all those movies, right? If not, then Google it. There was a movie called The Last Jedi, but I found a place to shoot Bar Wars, The First Jedi. It's a mixture of, and I like to do mashup films. It's a mixture of Star Wars The Last Jedi and Coyote Ugly. Or maybe it should be Cocktail. Yeah, let's be Cocktail. There we go. Bar Wars, The First Jedi. And my character would play, of course, the Tom Cruise character / Luke Skywalker character. I would write it together. So if you're a writer out there and you listen to this episode and you want to co-write a short film with me, a short parody, Bar Wars, The First Jedi, let's have at it. And right now I'm going to have at my Thanksgiving, I'm going to go for a bike ride and visit my favorite clown, El Payaso, Chris the Magician, my former neighbor and creative counterpart, collaborator. We did some cool stuff together back in the day in Brooklyn, Billyburg. So I want you all to have a blessed day. And I'm just going to throw this episode right up there and say, hey, bio and words to be continued. Because one thing I've realized since the last episode I did, I probably recorded or started to record about 10 episodes. And I've overcomplicated this whole process. These episodes of the Who the Heaven Knows I podcast used to be me waking up and just putting things out to the universe and just clearing out my head. And it became so overproduced. I have to get back to the basics. And so maybe when I go back and listen to this, I'll make chapters, I'll put notes in, I'll even do the poll question of the day, which no one besides JBF has really commented or done the poll questions on any of the other 50, that's right, 50 episodes. ¿Por qué? ¿Tú eres flojo? ¿Por qué? ¿Tú eres egoísta? No sé, pero yo quiero amigos conmigo con un voz, con un mente, quiere explorar. Anyway, I don't have subtitles on this, but I just like to throw down Spanglish every once in a while, and I'm so happy. I'm happy that I'm alive. I'm happy I'm still in the game, and I'm happy you're here making it to the end of the episode, because as the Soul Pilot says, the end is always the beginning. Happy Thanksgiving, TTYL. I love you all. Even those that are not so nice to me, I still love you, but I'll keep my distance and love you like the sun loves all the planets from a distance. Peace and power to your dreams. Happy Thanksgiving.